so many times. You have to have, it's a steep learning curve. You will fail. And get to it. Just let me tell you 3 trends you will have when you're doing this. First, and they all start with that. First is you will fail. You will fail a lot of times. You will fail a bit, you will fail a lot. How you get out of that failure is what determines who lives and who dies. That's basically, it's not, don't think you won't fail. In fact, let me tell you the truth. Write failure a letter, just, acquaint yourself. Become past, get phone numbers, Facebook friends, pictures and things, because you will fail. The second thing that's going to happen is you have to fight the fears. You have to deal with them, create an image. If you have somebody you really like, create that image in front of you and then start punching them in the nose, because fear is another thing you have to deal with. But then this is the thing that's really fascinating for me. Fortune. It will teach you to be a better person. Because your business is not dependent on what is ahead of you. Your business is dependent on who you are. Bottom line. It's very basic. For me, the biggest challenges we had, I stutter. I can't talk. I can't talk. You should put a cuss word there to explain to you how bad it was when I started. Because when I get in front of crowds, they used to have a really big problem. And in like 3 weeks, I had to handle myself. I had to get it all together and know that I'm the one who's able to market stuff, because just like you are with money, and I pay my taxes though. Then I had to get people to buy into the idea, So that's the first thing I had to do. The second thing is I had to stop being selfish. And as much as I came up with the idea, I did have to sell it to somebody who's better than me. But the third thing is, and this is always going to be a challenge for you, is you have to keep clarity of purpose and needs. Sacrifice. You will get it. I've sacrificed a lot. My partner has sacrificed a lot. But I think the thing that has just taught us is little by little now, lots and lots later. And I looked at this group and I thought this is a fantastic group. Apart from Joe at the corner, he just started up. I'm the next level of him. He's the next level of me. And Joe at the biggest level of all. So if anything, you should be scared, because I'll be buying a business out in 10 years. That's the idea. That's how you want to start. Start with that mindset. And you are the nice guy who's invited all of us here. It's pretty cool. We thank all the folk that you brought in and everything.
Okay, so. Look, I said I was going to stop halfway through, but I'm having too much fun here, and I think we need to keep going and do the questions to the end. So I'm just going to push on through for another 20 minutes. Joe, some things that Tony talked about there, getting help from his friends, getting help from the other partners in the business. Did you have a board in your business or advisors? And how did you select those boards? What does it mean to have a board? Why would you have a board? Can you explain to the audience?
Great question. So we had a great idea. We thought that if we gave people a good price, they would actually come. But we tried initially to go and sell that to people that would invest in us. The challenge was they didn't really understand how we can set up such a business. An ISP required a lot of capital. So the advice we got from some of our friends, in fact, I asked, it's called Gary, and he's running one of the asset management companies. He told me, look, the most important thing is management. It's about who directs your business, who manages your business. So you have to go and get the best board of directors. They will direct your business and they'll make sure that you don't go off path. So if you've got, this is your vision, this is your plan, they will keep you very steady. So in fact, what happened is we went out and started looking for a chairman. So we looked at a few people, but the first person we approached and talked to about the idea, and we told him, look, we want you to be our chairman because we want to go out and raise the following amount of money so that we can build this. He said, look, I'm flying to London, but I am not sure that I will put the money, or I'm going to come with my partners, but by next week you will have this money, so don't go talk to anyone else. We were trying to get our board. But what happened is, even after that, so we got the funding almost immediately. We then set up the board, and the key reason for this is that we knew in the end, whatever you do, an ISP or infrastructure business requires a lot of capital. So we were going to need to raise more capital in the future. We were going to hopefully even at some point list in the stock exchange. And if you're going to do that, as Mike was saying, people will be asking, who's Moshe? Who's Jared? Who is so and so? So as they ask these questions, you need to have a board of directors that have good experience. They can actually tell you in finance, this is what's happening or what's going on in the market. So that was very, very useful. And I believe in a lot of ways it paid off. Even though at the beginning, yes, Mike could never give us credit for any of the switches we were trying to buy. Now I understand why. It was very hard, but at least we had raised the money to pay it.
Sammy, are you experiencing the same thing in your stage of growth? Do you have a board? Are you looking for a board? And do you feel that the board is tied to funding and investment?
All right. Actually, to answer the question, I'll go to an example, business scenario we had. We approached a media house and we told them, you know what, we have a very good, we had a proposal, a pitch, made sense, the numbers made sense. You know what, the IT manager was happy about it. But when it got to his board, he said, who is this company? We were telling them this deal is worth $40,000. Every year you will save $10,000. So the numbers do make sense for any media board. And the IT manager proposed it, but the board asked, who can we speak to on the same level? Who can tell us from his experience? So we realized that we have a major weakness, the lack of that. And I'm thankful that right now with consultation with I won't disclose who, but a big player in the market, and they're willing to foster us to take us as an incubation and act as a part of the board in essence for equity, which I think is a fair trade.
Good. So, Mike, in terms of support, there's the board, but there's also a network as an entrepreneur. Did you utilize other entrepreneurs or the networks around either the country or the continent or online, or however you use networks, leverage those networks to help build the business, and if so, how?
Okay, interesting. I think every time I'm going to give presentations about entrepreneurship, one of the things I talk about is the networks and the relationships that you create as you go along. I think one thing you need to understand is reputation is so important. Because what keeps you in that network is reputation. Now, I can introduce you to a network, but if you do not have to that network, it means the network is not going to respect you. So I feel a lot of part of our success in business has been the networks we've been introduced to, okay, either by the board, either by individuals, either by other networks. For instance, I sit in a network called Young Presidents Organization. It's made up of 80 people in Kenya who started level of turnover within their business. And this network is a global network. It's an American, it's a global network. If I want to go to New York, I want to go to London, I call to that network and say I'm looking for people in the technology industry. So immediately, by the time I land there, I probably have dinner with somebody who I'm looking for in London. Okay, and by virtue of being in that network, I have access to resources or access to information. Now, but to do that, you need to realize that networks at every point are very important. Networks, I would say, network of suppliers, network of investors, network of customers, because customers talk to other customers. So when I look at networks, I don't only look at networks, I say networks just from one point of view. I look at networks of employees. Employees leave the organization, influence other employees to come back or not to come to the organization. So you need to look at the network from a broad point of view. A broad point of view from a people point of view, from an employee point of view, from a supplier point of view, from a customer point of view, and from a leadership point of view. So that's how I view the networks, and that's how they created value for us.
Good. Just to add on that, if I may, please.
I'd say if you look at yourselves in the recently released census results, about 70% of these countries are under 30, so it's you guys. So in another 5-10 years, you'll be the ones in all these positions where we found people to talk to. So as Mike is talking about the networks are in this room and in rooms like this around Kenya. So you've got to start from where you are now, because it's not about making the money right now. You've got to look at yourselves 5 years from now, maybe, is what will be happening in Kenya and in what direction you want to be in. And chances are, which is what happened to me, how I got into Coca-Cola, Safaricom, it's people I went to school with. They just happen to be working in those companies. So you've got to keep the contacts that you currently have. But like Mike said, reputation is number one, because the contacts mean nothing without reputation.
Can you just finish it off? How many of you are on Twitter? Put your hands up if you're on Twitter. Good stuff, put your hands down. How many of you are on Facebook? Put your hands up if you're on Facebook. Good stuff. Check this out. How many of you are on LinkedIn? Oh, that's good. I'm very impressed. Usually when you have that question, Twitter is yeah. Facebook is ooh. LinkedIn is ooh. You and you. That's it. And I think that's what counts now. I have learned that my reputation has been built by what's online. It's what I tweet about somebody else or what somebody else tweets about me. It's what's written about me by a review, by one of you guys who's blogging. Nowadays your reputation, unfortunately, is crowdsourced. You have to be very careful what you say, who you say it to, how you say it, what you put out there. The difference between probably Mike and Karanja and even maybe Joe is that when they started, it was a bit different in that your reputation was almost solely based